Let's start by what your name is.
I'm Andres Chamis, and
How old are you?
16 years old.
Okay, where were you born?
I was born in Caracas, Venezuela in 2002.
And how long have you been in the Caramorian school?
Since 7th grade, so about 4 years and a half.
Okay, and how long have you been living in the DR?
Well, that's, yeah, about like 5 years, because I was in another school before, yeah.
So you came here in what year?
In 2014, I think, or yeah, 2014.
And you obviously came here because of the issues there, right?
Yeah, my family was like my dad's job was going downhill because of the economical problems in Venezuela. The currency was inflating too much, and you were losing a lot of money, so we were forced to go somewhere else.
Do you think that your family made the right move?
Yeah, definitely. Like my friends there are suffering a lot. Like they don't have it's like even food is an issue. They don't have anywhere to find like food or even toilet paper is a problem. So yeah.
Who do you think it's at fault for this problem?
Well, obviously the government, like they're not paying the police. They're not training the police. Everything's a problem there. Like everything that has to do with the government is wrong. But I also believe that people, like the actual citizens, are not having the right. They're not making the right moves. Like, yo no sé escribirlo, yo no sé decirlo. ¿Cómo se dice comportamiento?
They're not doing the government?
The people.
The people? They don't have the right behavior,
They don't have the right behavior.
attitude?
Yeah, they don't have the right attitude towards this because they're like actually killing people in riots and in protests. Or
Who
they
is?
should actually be.
Who is killing?
Everyone. Everyone's killing it. It's like a civil war.
Like Hunger Games.
It's like a Hunger Games movie, yeah.
And when you were there, what were the biggest problems you faced? Aside the economic issues you mentioned before.
We had bulletproof cars. We couldn't like my parents didn't allow me to go to parties or anything.
So your life was threatened.
Yeah.
Yours and your family's.
Yeah, I was like stuck home basically all week, and I only was allowed to go out for school or maybe sometimes to go to a friend's house, but that's it.
How did that make you feel?
Well, it was normal for me, so I didn't really realize how life could be until I got here.
Right, because you grew up in that
Yeah.
situation. Because it started how long ago?
1998, I believe.
Because that's when Hugo Chavez came to power. So
Yeah.
it all started with him.
Yeah.
So how was Venezuela before that? How was your parents'
It was
life?
like here. It was like imagine the Dominican Republic, but in right now, but like without the technology we have now. That's how Venezuela was.
So that's how your parents lived.
Yeah.
And then around the time they got married and
Yeah, like right the year they got married, that's when everything started.
going downhill,
Yeah.
like the currency.
Well, the currency problem started like in about 7 or 8 years ago, but like the security issues and all that started like when I was born.
Okay, so criminal activity increased around the years you guys were born. You and your brother.
Yeah.
So you grew up in this environment. So you didn't really get affected that much by it, or what? Because did you encounter any specific situations?
Well, yeah, I was. I got robbed in school once.
In school.
Yeah, I had a
school campus.
In school campus. I was in my soccer class after school, and this man came up to me. He didn't show me a gun or anything, but it scared me because I was small. I was a small kid, and he was like, "Give me." I was with my iPod at the time, and he was like, "Give me your iPod," and I was like, "No, why?" And he was like, "Just give me your iPod," and he said bad language to me, and I got scared, and I had to give it to him. And yeah, I actually called the principal like the next day, and no one actually found out who that person was. But yeah.
How did you feel knowing that you couldn't even be safe at your own school?
Like, I mean, I never took anything like that was a price pressure to me to school, because I was scared of it like getting robbed again. So I was really scared. Yeah.
Did you encounter any other situations?
Yeah, I was with my grandma once at the mall. We were buying I don't remember what we were buying, but we were at the mall, and we started hearing screaming. But it was like so we started laughing because we thought it was like a joke or something, and then we just see this women running like in the hall of the mall, and there was this man chasing her with a gun, just like shooting like at the ceiling. And we actually got into one of the stores and told them what was happening and to close, like to lock down the store. And we stayed there for like half an hour and then left safely. But yeah, that was a scary situation.
Yes, and your friends encounter this nowadays too. Every
Yeah,
day?
most of my friends still live there. So.
And they can't leave.
Well, they can leave and they go out to Miami a lot, like for vacations. They go in the middle of the school year every 2-3 weeks.
Why don't they move?
I don't really know. I don't really know why they don't move.
You think maybe people are attached emotionally to their home country?
Yeah. Sometimes I still feel like homesick.
You do,
even though this is my home now.
Even though there's the situation going there, you still feel connected to that country.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why people don't want to leave. But
so like for example, my grandma and my grandpa's, my grandma's, still live there, and they don't want to leave because like all of their friends are still there, and they don't have anywhere to go like where there's people they know. So unless like everyone leaves, like there's nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen.
And probably you were gonna stay there until something eventually made your family decide, no, we have to leave.
Yeah.
What was that? Or was it gradual?
No, it wasn't gradual. There was a point where my dad like said, "Dude, this is impossible." It was when Maduro announced that. So my dad imported goods from China, like food and glassware, and there was this point where Maduro said the prices had to be lower. He actually like contacted our company, and he said the prices had to be lower, but he couldn't sell things for lower because like that he was selling it super cheap, and
so
it
he
was
wasn't
like,
going to get any profit.
He was gonna lose money if he put it cheaper, and some of his friends had the same problem too, and they had to put it cheaper. They were forced to, and they lost money. Some of them didn't, and they went to jail. So it was like we had nothing to do. We had to leave.
So your family is against the government right now?
Yeah, pretty much everyone's against the government.
That's interesting because I've also seen like in this country when Hugo Chavez died, many people mourned him and they did ceremonies dedicated to him because he died here in Venezuelans that had come to the Dominican Republic. Why do you think that some people might appeal to the government? Why do some people still feel like the government is good and doing the right things?
Ignorance. They don't see they don't see it. So like Chavez and Maduro, they give gifts to poor people. Mostly the small amount of people that still believe in the government are poor people. They don't have a lot of education. They don't have a lot of
and they're easily influenced.
Of values. Yeah, they believe everything the government says. So if the government says like, hey, I will give you a house in a few weeks if you do this and this, or whatever, if you vote for me, and that's not true. They never give out the houses, but they still believe. Like I don't know why they just believe it.
Those, of course, that also happens in places like the DR.
Yeah.
But it's a much bigger problem in Venezuela when people don't even have food to eat or toilet paper.
Yeah.
And how do people like your grandparents and your friends get food?
Oh, the black market. That's the only way, and it's so expensive.
So only people with money are able to access it.
Yeah, only the people with
So how are middle class people getting by?
There's no way. Like even like not rich people, but like people with a decent amount of money have to look in the trash for food.
So people are having to look in the trash for food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's a serious situation. Do you think what do you think could be a solution to all of these problems?
I think everything's gonna keep getting worse unless there's an intervention.
From outside?
From outside, yeah.
You think that the government needs to be taken down?
Yep, that's the only way.
Because
every single, like, all the places are taken up. Like, there are only a few places in the government that are taken by the opposition.
Okay, and Do you want to add any more thoughts to this? Like, how do you feel in general? Like, how does your family feel? Do you think that because it must end someday? Are you gonna go back to Venezuela?
Well, if it ends and if it's like if the situation gets a lot better, I would probably go back to Venezuela. Maybe not to live, but yeah, I would probably visit it. It's been like 3 years since the last time I visited it, and yeah, I actually miss it. But I don't think it's gonna get better, sadly, soon. I think maybe it's gonna. Uh, as I said, the only way for it to get better is an intervention. That's what I believe.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time.